Jesus time, time for Jesus. As long as we're alive, it's time for Jesus. Right? He saves you, and it's time for Jesus forever. It's always that time. That's the time. So this is 2 Chronicles chapter 25. I'm looking at Amaziah, King Amaziah. He was 25 years old when he began to reign. He reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jehoaddan of Jerusalem. And it says here that he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, but not with a perfect heart. Not with a perfect heart. So here's one of those verses again, right? Where God is showing us what he's concerned about, what his expectation, his standard is, but not with a perfect heart. So we don't want that, right? He's telling us, I don't want that. That's not what I want for you. And this is what I'm going to say of you. If you don't do what's right in the sight of the Lord with a perfect heart, he's going to notice that. He's going to make mention of that. That's noteworthy. Right? Well, put that in there. Not with a perfect heart. Right? He did what's right, but right? Not with a perfect heart. Perfect is entire, whole, total, right? God says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, all your strength. So we're always considering that every day. We're searching it out, looking for any areas of weakness, gaps, flaws, right? And that's going to open us up to criticism because you desire that. You know, the people that, I guess maybe kind of pat themselves on the back, or sometimes it could be they don't really want to do it, or they focus more on how much it takes from them, like the effort. You know how much effort it took me to cook you this, and how dare you say that, you know, you don't like this or that was missing, right? Because they want to feel good, they want to protect that image they want of themselves, and they just want to be good now, feel good now, be perfect now, with even though there's room to get better. No, they're trying to stay where they are. No, just give me the affirmation, give me the compliments. I want things to be good right now as it is. Right? But you know, that's kind of more normal for people to, you know, a daily circumstance. You know, because in some ways they're right? Like, be appreciative of the food, like just eat it. But at the same time, you might have run into people where their focus is on trying to get better. Maybe there's more of an acknowledgement of, yeah, I am learning, I am in the process. Some people, even though there are good cooks, so you cook good now, right? But they still have that mindset. No, I always want to be better, right? So some people are like that, and you might see that mindset where they serve you the food, and if you complain, then they'll thank you, right? It needs more salt. It's lacking salt. Really? Thanks. Oh, thanks for telling me that. Right? I was going to ask you if you didn't tell me, right? And if you don't tell them, they might beg you for it. Like, tell me, how do you like it? It's good. It's great. No, really, tell me. I'm trying to get better. I want to get better. Right? And so they might say, no, it's really good. And say, no, they won't accept it. Give me a criticism, right? Tell me something, right? I want to get better. If you tell me it's good, I can't get better. I can't, right? I want to know how I can make it better. And so you might tell them, oh, well, it could use this. Thank you. Or if you say, no, really, it's perfect. It is good. And then they're gonna come up with their own criticism. Well, I think it's missing some corn. I could have added some corn. And they're gonna just come up with their own criticism, right? because they're always striving, seeking, what can I do? I can always do a little bit better. And that was told us too about how we should avoid the saying that we might be used to saying, I tried my best. I tried my best. And why? What's the reason? Even if you feel like you did try your best, it's going to steal. It's going to steal from that perception, that perspective of, but there's more room to improve. There's more you could give. There's more you could grow. You know, if you think, oh, I did my best, then yeah, well, best. What does that mean? Yeah, that was the best, right? There's nothing better, nothing more that could be done. But if you don't say that, right? No, I didn't do my best. Because, yeah, oftentimes we're going to say that in the face of criticism, in the face of failure. But I tried my best. Really? Really, though? Right? What if you don't say that? And consider, right? What more could I do? Right? How much more perfect can it be? Where is that room to improve, areas to improve? Then you're going to, be better in the future. Oh, well, there is that. Well, I did not consider this. Well, I could do this. Well, how about you? Right? You're going to seek advice. What do you do? Right? Oh, I could implement that. I could do that. You're leaving room to consider and recognize there's empty slots. Oh, I could put that skill in. I could put that consideration in. I could put that effort in. And you're going to be better set up for improvement for the future. So yeah, people who make food, you'll find, maybe two kinds of people like that, division of just, I want to hear you say it's good. Tell me it's good. Tell me it's good. And they might get upset. What? Is missing something? You don't like something? Be grateful, right? Yeah, I cooked all that food. You know how long it took me to make that food? And then the other people, I say, yes, tell me. Yes, what's wrong with it? What's wrong? Okay, next time I'll do that. You know what? I didn't consider that. That could make it better, right? And I've noticed that. I think I mentioned this before in the times when I was doing artwork, and in class, what we do is we put up our artwork. For me, it was I guess it's both photography or the little bit of painting that I did. That they would put it up on the wall, or you put it on the stand, and it's critique time. Like it's a time that is allotted for direct intentional critiquing, right? So at this time, we are going to critique your work. So it's not by surprise. It's not unsolicited. It's like, no, you need this, right? And you have to hear it all. And so that was kind of good. That was kind of good. Because, you could think, oh, it's my artwork. It's whatever I feel, however I want to do it. But then you see people's artwork improve as they receive criticism, as they receive feedback from other people saying, well, I think that's a little, unorganized, or you're missing this here. I don't really get what you're trying to communicate. Right? And then they might care. No, I want you to get it. I am trying to, there's a message that I'm trying to express. And, oh, you took it that way? That's how you see it? That's how you read it? That's how you understand it? No, that wasn't my intention. Okay, so I got to do something different. And they're going to hone their craft. They're going to get better at communication, visual communication. They're going to get better at composition. Oh, yeah, it's a little squished over here, and you got all this room. You didn't use this room. It's not as balanced. That's what I feel. Right? And the next person critiques. Yeah, I agree with that, what she just said. I also think it's a little cramped here. You got too much stuff going on, and it's just kind of lopsided. It just doesn't, the feeling of it is a little off. That's just me, though, right? And you could dismiss it, right? Oh, yeah, that is just you, right? How dare you think that? How dare you say that? Or you could consider that, then maybe next time I will balance it out a little more. And then what's the effect of that? Right? Next time, right? A month later, Right? You put up your work and they say, wow, this is very nuanced. This is very balanced. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of good interplay between this element here and this character here and this corner of the picture to that. And I see a fluid motion, this very nice language, visual language of, what's going on. And you're going to be pleased, like, wow, oh, so before it was all critique, all, nitpicking. But then as you considered it, as you integrated it and applied it to your work, and then put it up, next time they're going to mention that this is a lot better than last time. Wow, I see the improvement. And you get to experience that. And then you're going to be more motivated. And that might fuel you to become, like that other person. See, man, I like criticism, man. That is useful. Come on, guys. What other criticisms do you have for me? Tell me what's wrong with it. I want to keep getting better, right? So they start to understand that, like, criticism's good. Like, hey, no, give me more. Like, I like this feeling of improvement. And you see some other students, they were stuck, right? Because it's critique time, right? So they're not going to say, don't critique my work, because no, that's what we're here for. They're not going to say, I don't like criticism, right? But it's going to come out in a different way. It looks a certain way, defensiveness, right? So no, I think you got too. It's just too yellow. Why is this all this yellow? The color is a little off. Are you sure you did some basic color correction? This doesn't seem like, like the clouds are yellow. We all know clouds are white. The clouds can't be yellow. You didn't, fix for the color. It's not the right color. The color balance is off. And, the artist might defend himself. No, that's obviously wrong. You messed up, right? That was a basic fundamental thing that we all know you should do. And you can say, no. It's supposed to be like that. So what I was going for was like this, like a dreamy look. Yeah. They might respond, get on you, say, well, if you're going for the dreamy look, I would have made it more like bluish. Because that, to me, that communicates more like a dream kind of atmosphere. No. When I dream yellow. Yeah. Right? And they just are going to be defensive, right? They might come up with another comment, right? Saying, oh, you know what? You got another basic critical detail off, like the focus. I don't think you focused your camera. It seems kind of blurry, right? No, I meant to do that. Remember, like, I'm going for the dreamy look, right? Yeah, but what's the dream? What are you trying to convey? You guys are asking too many specific questions. You guys just don't get it. Right? What I'm trying to do is complex. It's complex. Right, so they're gonna be very busy, and you can sense that, you can hear that, right? Oh, this guy is really struggling. He's really, as they would say, like pulling things out of thin air, right? Thin air. He's pulling it out of thin air. He's just, he knows he's wrong, right? But he won't admit it, and that's gonna impede. That's gonna hinder his ability to accept that correction. He's not going to be as mindful of, they did say that, so let me pay more attention to. Right? In his personal mind, even without saying it out loud, his thoughts are going to be off. Right? He might have bitterness. They just don't. They're on me. They hate me. Right? They don't know this craft. They don't know how to do art. They don't know. Right? Yeah, that could get bigger. That could get worse. That could expand to the whole world. In fact, the whole art world, all the people, they're just all dumb. They're all corrupt. People just don't understand me. Right? Yeah. I'm so isolated. I'm so special. I'm a genius. People just don't know. Yeah, how far are you going to take that? Until, when are you going to correct yourself? Because you could be, you graduated school. Now you're expected to produce and earn some money, right? Sell some work, right? Yeah, you're out there in the gallery. You put up all your work. No one's buying your stuff because they're still saying, Why is it so yellow? It's always yellow. What? I don't want to buy this. This seems off. See, there's all these people. They're still wrong. You're gonna be like literally the starving artist, right? You're gonna die. You're gonna starve all because you couldn't take criticism. So here, this is amazing. Look, as we continue to read, we're gonna see that God sends critics. God sends prophets to point out. So this is what's wrong with your heart. This is what's wrong with what you did, and that's connected to your heart. Address your heart. And it says he didn't do it with a perfect heart. He wasn't addressing the matters of his heart, so it came out in error. Right? That action was wrong. That decision was wrong. You did the wrong thing. So continuing to verse 3. Now it came to pass, when the kingdom was established to him, that he slew his servants that had killed the king his father, but he slew not their children, but did as it is written in the law, in the book of Moses, where the Lord commanded. Right? So that's good. Right? He's referencing the law. The law says this: I'm going to do what's lawful. I'm going to do what God said. Right? So he's off to a good start. What the Lord commanded, saying, the father shall not die for the children, neither shall the children die for the fathers, but every man shall die for his own sin. Moreover, Amaziah gathered Judah together and made them captains over thousands and captains over hundreds, according to the houses of their fathers, throughout all Judah and Benjamin. And he numbered them from 20 years old and above, and found them 300,000 choice men, able to go forth to war, that could handle spear and shield. He hired also 100,000 mighty men of valor out of Israel for 100 talents of silver. So he paid the northern kingdom to fight with him. He hired some soldiers. But there came a man of God to him, saying, O king, let not the army of Israel go with you, for the Lord is not with Israel, to wit, with all the children of Ephraim. So, yeah, naturally, right, you're going to be considerate of, well, I just bought this. You want me to return it? And so that relates to today, right, our life. And as God can tell us, so that's not good. Get rid of it. But I just bought it. I bought it for $100. That's a lot of money, right? Yeah, throw it away. But I just bought it. I spent this much money on it. Right? It's gonna feel like that's throwing money in the trash. I can't do that. I don't want to do that. I love money. I don't want to part with money. And he's gonna see that God is a jealous God. He's not gonna be happy with if our heart is after anything else, if it's pursuing, if it's toward, if it's given to anything other than God. God is a jealous God. He's going to be upset with you because you're cheating on him. You're going after another. You're fearing another. He says, fear only me. Let God be your only dread. And you're showing him, demonstrating, I can't do what you say, God, because I have feelings about this. I have other ideas about this. And so that's good. We found out a weak point. We found out where you're struggling. Something to work on. Right? Consider, okay, why is that? Do you love money? Do you love things? Do you love that brand? Do you love these people? Do you love more than God? Because apparently you can't fulfill the commandment of God, right? So Amaziah could do the will of God, could follow the law, right? Until now, he's going to show he has a little bit of hesitation here. So continuing, the prophet says, but if you will go, do it. Be strong for the battle. God shall make you fall before the enemy. For God has power to help and to cast down. Wow. Right, so God says, I can help you or I can destroy you. So if you're going to disobey, go ahead, do it. Right, so that's why we need to be careful. Right? He says, okay, here's my command, and you don't have to obey. You don't have to obey. Life would be easier if we just lived in a straitjacket, right? I'm crazy. Tie me up. Right? Don't let me do bad things. No, but that's not God's way. He says, I'm not going to tie you up. You control yourself. Control your thoughts. Control your behaviors. I know that's a temptation, and resist it. I'm not going to lock you down. I'm not going to tie you down. You subject yourself. Right? You fight. Right? Here's a sword. Here's my word. You grab hold of my word. Then you could cut down that desire. Cut down. Fight back the evil thoughts, the evil desires, everything that is contrary to God. You can push it back, saying, no, God said, right? You could lift up your sword and say, no, right? And the thoughts are going to go, right? The enemy is going to go. So God says, yeah, but if you're going to disobey, go ahead, because there's a consequence there. So that's harder. That's harder. God, just don't let me. Just don't let me. No, he says, no, you have power over your body, power over your thoughts. You control it. You take dominion. Right? Control yourself. Control your soul. But the people, they're saying they're afraid. Yeah, but you're in power. You have control over yourself. And the buck stops here. Right? They say, come on. They tell Saul, let's keep it. Let's keep it. We want to keep it. And Saul can use that as an excuse. Right? But the people, there's so many. How can I say no to them? You can. Right? You can. You're afraid of the consequence. But that doesn't mean you can't. You still can. And face the consequence. Because whatever consequence happens, they might get angry at me. That's much better than God being angry with you. But because of the lack of the fear of God, he chose the fear of men. And he said, okay, guys, you want to keep it? Okay. All right, I guess that's what we're doing. Right? Phew, I'm safe. They don't hate me. I'm going to be secure in my position as king, right? Because I did what the people said. And then the messenger of God shows up and says, you lost your kingdom. Because who gave you the crown? Who made you king? Did they make you king? They didn't make you king. They asked for a king, but God made you king. So, yeah, same here. He says, if you will go, be strong for the battle. You need a lot of strength for this battle. If you go and you disobey, you're going to need to be so strong, like strength you don't have. You're going to lack. You're going to need to be stronger than you ever can be. Right? You'll fail. Right? If God resists you, can you beat God? Right? Can you make God lose? Right? Do you dare? Right? Put your arm out and say, God, let's arm wrestle. I think I could beat you. Right? That's what we're doing when we disobey. And so when God has a command for us, he gives us room to disobey, room to obey. Acknowledge that, focus on that, then that will give you courage to obey. But he also gives you room to disobey. You can, because he wants to know who you are. Let's see who you are. Are you going to disobey? Right? And so we have to be careful. Just because we can do it, just because it seems like, well, it's possible, right? And, we have very cartoonish, very simple, rudimentary ideas about, I didn't get struck by lightning, because that's God, right? God is limited to that, right? As long as I don't get struck by lightning in the moment, God's not mad. God approves. I can live my own life. I can go to church and pursue Jesus sometime, part-time job, and then pursue my job, my career, full-time. God will accept that. Why? Because you said so? Yeah. Wrong. So it has to be what did God say? What does your pastor say? Because he said you can't do that. You got to pursue Jesus full-time. Right? The career, you got to put that, you got to demote that your career, your secular work, that's lower in priority. And that's against our soul, right? No, I want to make that first because that gives me money, and money answers all things. It's a defense, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to trust in that. And so that's directly preached against. That has to change. That's from the world. That's how they think. That's how they live. So that has to change. You have to unscrew that, right? Bring it down, screw it back in, and then put God there, right? Because you did worship that. Right? God has to be on top. Whatever was on top, whatever was taking the place, that's repentance. As we come into the faith, as we serve Jesus in sincerity, then whatever we had in that place, we're going to be taking it down. Take it down. So that's the question for Amaziah. He's in the hot seat. So do you worship money? Right? I know you paid them. I know you paid a lot. And is that enough to get you to disobey God? The prophet's looking at him. God's looking at him. Right? And the king's counselors and all the king's people, they're looking at him. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? There's a lot at stake here. Because if he makes the wrong decision, it's going to release something bad. Right? If he disobeys God, then the people are going to be more emboldened to disobey God. If he does the right thing, then the people are going to receive grace to, oh, okay, so that's what we do. Obey God at all costs. Obey God even though it costs. Obey God even though that. Because their leader did that. So they're going to see that, and that's going to affect the kingdom in a positive way or in a negative way. And we are kings and priests today, right? He calls us to be kings and priests. So we understand that even in our position, wherever we are, with whatever influences, whatever relationships we have, and whoever can see us, we're in the same position. What we do is going to spread. What we do is going to have an effect, an influence on our atmosphere, in our neighborhood, in our society, right? In our circle of friends, in the friends on Facebook, and everyone who's connected. They're going to receive some measure, some level of, because they're connected to you somehow, right? Some influence, some you're connected, right? So whatever's connected to you, they're going to be affected by every action that you take, whether you obey or disobey, right? Whether you forbear or don't. And so, that's what Ezekiel was told to do. Go tell them. Go tell all these people. And they might obey, or they might disobey. But Ezekiel goes, and he delivers the message. Because if he doesn't, then blood will be on his hand. And so we're here. That's what we're doing. We're telling everybody whether you will obey or disobey. And Amaziah said to the man of God, "But what shall we do for the 100 talents? What shall we do? What should I do about the money?" The 100 talents which I have given to the army of Israel, right? I paid good money. I lost money. Should get something for my money. I'm going to lose in value. Right? I paid for nothing. And the man of God answered, "The Lord is able to give you much more than this." So that's exciting. That's exciting, right? The Lord is able to give you much more than this. Don't worry about it, Amaziah. I know you paid 100 talents. That's a lot of money. 100 talents to hire these soldiers. And you can't ask for a refund. You can send them away. Send them away. I lost my money. Don't worry about your money. Focus on God. Obey God. I just told you this is the will of God. Just do it. I know, the money can hinder you from obeying God. Forget about it. Forget about the money. Forget about the money. Forget about it. I was considering that, just how it seems sometimes. Sometimes that makes it easier to obey, just telling yourself. Because it is true in a sense, none of this none of this exists. It's right, none of it exists. What is material? Right? What is all this stuff? Right? Stuff. What is stuff? Substance, material, things. It's just sound. The sound is just vibration. It could be a figment of an imagination. Right? Yeah. If things can disappear like that, if limbs can just grow like that, but through our life experience, we have this high regard of things, solid things. They're things. No, they're things. It's solid. It's solid. Yeah, it's a wall. I can't get past it. They're real. Right? Until you read the Bible, you come into the faith, and you understand spiritual things, and you see, wait, whoa, look at these things. Wait, how does it work? Whoa, look at these exceptions. A hand just appears and writes on the wall. What's going on? What's going on? A donkey just starts talking. A seas can just split. People can just disappear. Oh. So the world that we thought we were living in, right, and the way we thought it was. So from God's perspective, yeah, he just puts his hand right, from the spiritual dimension, just in all our physical stuff, and just like how you put your hand in water and the water just moves. Yeah, just swish, swish. Yeah. God, don't do that. You're causing an earthquake. You're causing a tsunami, a typhoon. You're causing tornadoes. Just little. No, all this stuff. Right? Just make things disappear. Make new islands. Right? Make whole countries sink. Yeah, just rearrange. We're organized. Let's do some stuff. Have a comet fall. Right? An asteroid, a meteor. Make a big explosion. Yeah, tsunamis, just have the wave go over, have the wind come, destroy all these crops, have the fire come. So you just, moving stuff around. But God, don't you care about the iron pole, the fencing, the cattle, the tower? You just let it fall? And yeah, at the same time, in the midst of all that, he's very considerate, delicate, and mindful of your heart, of people's hearts. So in the midst of all this that's going on, okay, so what are you going to do? So I just did this. Okay, now he's looking at your response. So because I did this, now what are you going to do? Okay, now because I do this, what are you going to do? Right? Are you going to be lifted up? Toward God, or in pride in your heart? Now because I did this, what are you going to do? Are you going to fear or trust in God? Okay, now what if I do this, and what are you going to do? He's looking at our hearts. He's very focused on you, right? What are you going to do, oh man? Job, now what if I do this? See, Job, look at Job. Have you considered Job? Let's look at Job. Come on guys, let's watch Job. Okay, so he did good. Now what if we do this? Oh, Job, what are you going to do? Yeah. Okay, now send these guys over here. Let's watch them talk. Job, what are you going to do? All right, you guys are done. You talk. Okay. All right, Job. So, hey, Job, hi. Hi, Job. Right. He's really attentive to Job. So all this, they died, your crops and all the enemy forces and the nations came and left and robbed you, and your house fell and children died. Your wife did this to you, and your friends did this to you, and that was a lot, huh, Job? That was a lot. You did good. I want to tell you this. Okay, and here you go. Right. Double. How does that just happen? Right? It's all in God's hands. But what was the focus? What was the center? Job, right? His heart his identity, his mind, his person, like Job, his name, and his story, and his testimony. Job. So he wants us to do well. He's just using, this is all, even we ourselves are clay, but how much more just the stuff, the things, like material. It's just material, like things he uses to condition our heart, to make the man of God, to test us, to try us, to prove us, to make us. And so don't regard the money. Amaziah, I know, money. Right? Oh, but the 100 talents of silver, that's nothing. Tell yourself it's nothing. Count it as nothing, because it's nothing. Your decision is everything. Right? You know what's the right thing to do. Doing that right thing, that's everything. The money, the people, the emotions, the hard faces, what they're going to say, the gossip, your reputation, whatever, yada, yada, that's all nothing. But doing the will of God, that's everything. The money doesn't even really exist. The people, they don't exist. The law, God, and your response is you and God. He's looking at you. This is the most real thing. This is real. Your obedience. He's looking at that. That's everything right now. Don't think about money as the thing right now, because you're trying to weigh that. Obey or my money. Right? You better know that that's not even close. I don't know. Let me weigh that. It's pretty close. It seems like if I think about it this way, God wins out. If I think about it this way, I should obey money. Money wins out. No, they can't be close. You're in danger. Money, so that's what I do sometimes. It doesn't exist, right? Oh, that option, the option doesn't exist. Oh, that person, or that saying, right? This thought, the money, the thing, it doesn't exist. It doesn't even exist. It's not real. God exists, though. God exists. The fool does the opposite. There is no God. All this is real. All this exists. No, it's the opposite. So you got it upside down. So what's Azariah going to do? He said, what about the money? And the prophet helps him out. The Lord is able to give you much more than this. Right? Much more. You think 100 talents of gold is a lot? 100 talents of silver? It was silver. 100 talents of silver, silver. Yeah, God is able to give you much more, and that's usually the pattern, right? What are you laying down? What are you giving up? Oh, I lost that gold. And it usually comes back. It returns, right? We just talked about Job. He got double. Everything he lost, he got double. So Amaziah, he was in position. 100 talents of silver, so that's going to come back. Let it go. Obey God. So what this prophet is saying is true. It's true. The Lord is able to give you much more than this. And Amaziah, he does right. He does the right thing. Right? Then Amaziah separated them, to wit, the army that was come to him out of Ephraim, to go home again, even though at the cost of, they're going to get angry. Right? Wherefore their anger was greatly kindled against Judah, and they returned home in great anger. Right? So not only did you lose the money, but you made them angry. Right? What can that do? Right? They might attack you. Right? They're soldiers. But good job, Amaziah, right? He made the right decision. And Amaziah strengthened himself and led forth his people, and went to the valley of Salt, and smote the children of Seir, 10,000. Okay, I'll just keep reading. And other 10,000 left alive did the children of Judah carry away captive, and brought them unto the top of the rock, and cast them down from the top of the rock, that they all were broken in pieces. But the soldiers of the army, which Amaziah sent back, that they should not go with him to battle, fell upon the cities of Judah from Samaria even unto Beth-horon, and smote 3,000 of them, and took much spoil, right? So what we feared, it happened. It did happen. They did come and attack. Now it came to pass after that Amaziah was come from the slaughter of the Edomites, that he brought the gods of the children of Seir, and set them up to be his gods, and bowed down himself before them, and burnt incense unto them. So, how do you think God feels about that? Right? Wrong decision. Wrong decision. That was bad. Bad. And we see in verse 15, wherefore the anger of the Lord was kindled against Amaziah, and he sent unto him a prophet, which said unto him, why have you sought after the gods of the people, which could not deliver their own people out of your hand? You just defeated these people. They're losers. You're going to worship their gods? Their gods made them lose. That's what he's telling him. And it came to pass, as he talked with him, that the king said unto him, are you made of the king's counsel? Forbear. Why should you be smitten? What? And it came to pass, as he talked with him, that the king said unto him, are you made of the king's counsel? Forbear. Like, shut up. Why should you be smitten? So he's like what we talked about. He's being defensive. He's not taking it well, right? He's the prophet. What do you mean? He's questioning his authority. He's questioning, are you made of the king's counsel? He's a prophet, man. He's from God. Listen. He doesn't want to listen. He's upset. He's offended. You spoke against what I did? Amaziah, what happened? You did well the first time. You obeyed. But I guess he really wants to worship these gods, and no one can tell him anything about it. Then the prophet forbare, and said, I know that God hath determined to destroy you, because you have done this, and have not hearkened unto my counsel. Oh, right. God has determined to destroy you. I know. Because you have done this and have not hearkened. You didn't listen. Oh, so God is wanting to destroy you. If God doesn't want to destroy you, he would make you listen, like let you listen. So we want to listen. And that hearken, right, listening, is obeying, right? Not just playing the tape, but receiving what it says and doing it. But he basically pressed the stop button, right? No, stop. I don't want to hear it. And he stops. He says, oh, you just told me to stop? You don't want to hear from God? Oh, wow. Okay, so you are on schedule to be destroyed. Then Amaziah, king of Judah, took advice and sent to Joash, the son of Jehoahaz, the son of Jehu, king of Israel, saying, come, let us see one another in the face. I wonder where he got that idea. And Joash, king of Israel, sent to Amaziah, king of Judah, saying, the thistle that was in Lebanon sent to the cedar that was in Lebanon, saying, give your daughter to my son to wife. And there passed by a wild beast that was in Lebanon, and trode down the thistle, just stepped on him. Nice story, right? Just came by and said, give me your daughter, and he's dead. You say, lo, you have smitten the Edomites, and your heart lifts you up to boast. Abide now at home, right? Stay at home. You want to fight? And why should you meddle to your hurt, that you should fall, even you and Judah with you? But Amaziah would not hear. Would not hear. Yeah, God just blocked his ears. Why? Why? This is right after. Can we connect the cause and effect? Right? What happened right before? Verse 14. He brought the gods of the children of Seir and set them up to be his gods. Right? He's worshiping other gods, other idols. You worship another, you're going to lose strength. You're going to lose capabilities. You can't hear. Right? You're going to turn dark. You're falling away from God. And he's experiencing that. Well, so all the good things you did, that was because you were close to God. That was because you were near God. That was because you love God. That was because you worship God. You're not good on your own. God has to let you be good. And he just let him go. Oh, because you want to depart from God, then, well, why aren't you making good decisions? That's only if you're near God. All these bad ideas, right? Hey, let's see one another to the face, to someone who can destroy you, to someone who will destroy you. Where did you get that idea? God would have prevented you from having that idea, or God would have let you hear, right, what he said. Just a wild beast trode down the thistle. Oh, I hear God in that, right? Okay, right? Joash, never mind. Thanks for the warning, right? I'm going to live and not die. And that's for people who worship God. But you depart from God, yeah, you're going to act like this. You're not going to hear. You're going to be stubborn to your own destruction. Abide now at home, he says. Why should you meddle to your hurt, that you should fall, even you and Judah with you? But Amaziah would not hear, for it came of God. Right? It's telling us, in case we couldn't figure it out. Right? Oh, it came from God. And God caused that to happen, that he might deliver them into the hand of their enemies, because they sought after the gods of Edom. Right? Oh, the answers are in the back of the book. Right? He's telling us, in case you couldn't figure it out, it's because of this. Right? God made Amaziah do that because they sought after the gods of Edom, other gods. So Joash, the king of Israel, went up, and they saw one another in the face, both he and Amaziah, king of Judah, at Beth Shemesh, which belonged to Judah. And Judah was put to the worse before Israel. They fled, every man to his tent. And Joash, the king of Israel, took Amaziah, king of Judah, the son of Joash, the son of Jehoahaz, at Beth Shemesh, and brought him to Jerusalem, and brake down the wall of Jerusalem from the gate of Ephraim to the corner gate, 400 cubits. And he took all the gold and the silver and all the vessels that were found in the house of God with Obed-Edom, and the treasures of the king's house, the hostages also, and returned to Samaria. Who knows, maybe Amaziah would have beat Joash. Right? Amaziah could have maybe defeated Joash if Amaziah did not do what? Worship other gods. Right? Because, yeah, remember, I got excited back when we were in this verse 9. The Lord is able to give you much more than this. Amaziah, come on. Yeah, I want to see that. You made a good decision, Amaziah. You let go. You let go of the gold. Right? You got my respect, Amaziah. Wow. You're a man of God. You don't respect the money more than God. You follow God. Right? And the prophet said, God is able to give you much more than this. So, yeah, our anticipation is growing. You just gave up 100 talents of silver, and God is able to give you much more than this. What is that much more? Let's see it. Right? Buckle up. We're going to see great testimony. Amaziah just let go of 100 talents of silver, and God is able to give much more. All right, where's the much more? Where is it coming from? It's going to come. Here it comes. Canceled. It was in store. We could have seen some great things, but Amaziah had to be consistent. Amaziah had to continue to worship God, but his heart departed. He went to another. He conquered this land and saw their gods, and I don't know what happened. Was it beautiful? Was it a beautiful altar? Did they carve it in a beautiful way? What was it? What happened? Why? What made you go to other gods? There's many reasons, right? Why do we not pursue after God with all our strength, with all our heart? God has promises for us. God has callings for us. God has plans for us. God has things for us. And you might have even obeyed in your life. Done this or done that. Gone to church this many times. Sang beautifully. Sang many times. Sang and prayed. You might have prayed, right? In secret. In your room. You might have been faithful. You might have been sincere. You might have sowed in. But that could all be for naught, right? In the day that you turn away from God and choose other gods to fear other things. What is it, man? You fear man, you're going to disobey because of what they said, what he said, what they said, or what they might say, or because of money, because you don't want to lose the money, because you think the stuff is real, or a house, or a job, or a car, or a spouse, or family, or friends. What's the reason? What's the reason that you're going to leave God? What's the reason that you're going to obey? Watch out. Watch for that. Address it. Address it in your heart. Because, yeah, we have Amaziah's bad testimony. Right? Man, he was in position. He could have continued to obey God. He did well at the beginning. But he departed. And he started to not hear, make bad decisions, have bad thoughts. That could be reversed. That could go the other way. If you repent and turn to God, the bad thoughts you have, you could start generating good thoughts, right? Oh, I should go here. I should do this. I should talk to them. And it's going to prosper. It's going to prosper. It's going to prosper. Because God gave you those thoughts. Because you come to God. You sit at the feet of Jesus. And so you're going to hear him. When you hear him consciously, and even throughout the day, you're going to hear him. He's going to tell you. He's going to move you. He's going to make things prosper. That's how life is in God. That's how you know you're in God, close to God and getting closer. Oh, things are working out. Oh, what a coincidence. Oh, wow, this bonus. Oh, wow, this check. Oh, wow, this compliment. Oh, wow, these relationships. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Right, God is able to give you much more than this because you gave up all this for me. You gave up your whole life for me, and you keep it laid down. You don't pick it back up. You used to worship all that, but you knocked down those idols. You knocked down that. You said it's not that. You renounced it, and you chose God. Right? Then your life is going to look like this. So that's possible. And then, it goes both ways. Amaziah got the dark thoughts, bad thoughts, things that don't prosper. Right? He was taken prisoner, captive, and he lost all this gold, silver, and all the vessels that were found in the house of God with Obed-Edom and the treasures of the king's house, the hostages also, and returned to Samaria. And Amaziah, the son of Joash, king of Judah, lived after the death of Joash, son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel, 15 years. Now the rest of the acts of Amaziah, first and last, behold, are they not written in the book of the kings of Judah and Israel? Now after the time that Amaziah did turn away from following the Lord, they made a conspiracy against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish, but they sent to Lachish after him and slew him there. They brought him upon horses and buried him with his fathers in the city of Judah. Right? Yeah, that's one of those stories. Yeah, it makes you shake your head. Man, bad ending, right? You ran away, they killed you. Killed you there. You can't even run away. You can't run away. You can't run away from God. You can't run away from your bad decisions. What you sow, you reap. Right? So, yeah. Because in the spiritual, you can't run. You can't run. You might have a garden. In the physical, you plant a seed. Right? Bad things. And you might say, I don't like what I planted. Let me run. Let me go somewhere else. Yeah, then you're not going to reap it, right? Because you're not there. But in the spirit, that's not how it works. It stays with you. It follows you. You sowed that the bad decision, unbelief, complaining, you do bad, like blasphemy, right? Yeah, things against God, disobedience. And yeah, look, Amaziah, he ran. He went all the way to Lachish. He fled to Lachish. But they sent to Lachish. Your sin will pursue you. Your sin will find you out. Sin will find you out. You can't run. So that's why you want to sow good, right? Do good, do well, do what God says. Then you're going to reap mercy and righteousness and peace, right? More joy, peace, more love, more wisdom, more grace, more of God as you give your heart to God. Yeah, right? Because that's good. Then even when you go somewhere else, that's going to follow you, right? Then you're going to be glad that it follows you. Oh, your mercy followed me. Oh, your goodness, God, it followed me. Oh, look, signs, it follows. Oh, look, good things follow you. They're going to overtake you, whether it's the blessings or the cursings. They're going to overtake you. And so don't think you can run away. Everything stays with you. That's on your account. It's on your account, right? So we understand that with debts, right? And just because you move to a different city doesn't mean, oh, where is he? He doesn't owe us anymore. No, they're going to find you. It's on your name, right? Oh, no, you still owe us. It doesn't matter where you go. You could go to a different country. You still owe us, right? You still owe. So we want to be careful, mindful of what we sow. Know what to sow, right? Intentionally sow. And we won't know what to sow if we don't know God. Right? And we won't sow the right things if we don't know God. Love God. Engage God. Right? And give your life to God. And he will give you all these secret things, all the treasures of God. He will give you the answers. He will give you a right mind. He will give you healing. He will give you the ascent, right? The rise. Better than yesterday. Better than before. This area, that area, this area. So we do want to address our hearts, because we're coming out of the world, out of who we used to be, and we're becoming new. We're becoming sons of God, right? And now are we the sons of God, right? And so we're going to do the thing that is perfect, even as we are perfect, right? Do what's right, even as we are righteous, right? Because you've committed. Right? You've said it's God and nothing else. There's nothing else. It's going to be God from now on, right? Jesus, yes and amen, day and night, in everything you do, in every situation, every moment. So that's why you can't be part-time Christian. You have to be fully, wholly committed to it. They call it a slave to Christ. That's freedom. That's freedom, right? Don't think you have independent rights. Don't think you can separate yourself. You're going to intermeddle with all wisdom. You're going to find foolishness in separation. Right? So you want to be one with God. One with God. You see what happens. You see what's outside of God. You see the world. You see the darkness, the calamity, the confusion, the chaos. Can you handle that? Can you survive that? You're not wise. But God is. Right? He knows all that. He can make all that order. He can show you. So it's actually this, and yeah, it looks like a maze, but he'll get you perfectly through it, right? No dead ends, no starvation, no side of the road, no ditches. No, because you follow God and he gives you light. No, you won't stumble. Just take a right, take a left. Oh, but we've been here. Don't worry. And you're out. You're done. Eternal life. Welcome. You made it out of this life, right? This life. Who makes it out? Right? You see, most people, man, the bad stories, that's because they don't have God. They don't love God. They don't obey God. But what are you going to do? That's a question on your life. Who are you? God gives you moments, opportunities, right? Times of testing. You're sitting at the table. Right? You got a pencil in hand. Every time you make a decision, you're marking on your test. I think this is my answer. You better pass. You better pass. And without relying on God. God, what's the right answer? And doing as God tells you, you're not going to pass. Because you don't have the answer. You don't know life. You don't know anything. But God does. If you rely on God, you open yourself up to God. You humble yourself and say, God is whatever you say. He's going to say, oh, you know more than the ancients. You know more than your teachers. And you know because you know God. Know God or know nothing. In Jesus' name.